Hi, so today my wife and I are going to build the Pax closet from IKEA.
2024 version?
The 2024 version. As you can see, we already built one and we had a little bit of trouble, with the directions. There's these little funny pictures and stuff. So we just thought we'd make it easier if you're building one to show you how we did it. So I'm gonna open up the second one and get started. So the instructions say to grab this piece first and put it up on the wall and suspend it to the wall. But that seemed a little dicey to us because then you have to have your measurements perfect. So we thought it'd be easier to unfurl this part first and line it up to the wall, then put this on after, and it worked really well. So we're gonna do that now. Next will be the 4 legs, and they're adjustable, and we're going to put these in. Now, we found that when you first put these in, you could have trouble putting on the front brace, so you might have to tap it slightly with a hammer this way, just barely, to make it fit. So let's see how it goes. So that's the part that's tricky, is if you see here, this little hook can get caught in this groove. So you want to pound this over a little bit more so that you can get it to fit like that, where it's all flush. Next are these, and they go in here, and they slide until they click. Same with the other side, just like that. And now the back brace should slide right into the grooves that are built into it. These little wavy guides on the side of their legs, and we found that that's a lot easier than the front one. And then these 2 braces go in, put it in like this, and twist, and they should go down pretty easy into these holes, just like that. Also, make sure you add these 2 pieces to brace your back legs. So now I'm at step 15 in the manual. It's where you take these and you push them back into the slots, kind of the guides back here. You just very easily bend them back and put them in the slot. And we're going to install them in the top. This is where you need your trusty step ladder. Just be very careful going up and down. Put them up into these top 2 holes. Right there, you see those 2? And if it pops out, you just pop it right back in. It's no big deal. You do that on both sides. So we just found that this one's perfectly level and this one's a little bit off level, so it's the floor underneath. So the nice part about this unit is that if that's the case for you too, you just find this Allen wrench looking deal and you shove it into the top of the leg until you feel it grab, and then you just twist like this until you adjust the leg. It actually screws from within, so you don't have to get underneath and twist it with your fingers. So once you have it level across here and here, then it's time to grab your wall mount and install that. You're going to want these ridges to be facing out. So before installing with the screws, you're going to have to bend these pieces 90 degrees on both ends. Next, it's time to get your stud finder out. Look for the stud in the wall, but be careful not to hold it next to a real stud or it'll go crazy. So we have an interesting problem with our build, is that we just found out that there's a stud on this side, but there's not a stud over here. So it's going to have to be half and half, one drilled straight into the wood and the other one with a wall anchor. So now again, instead of installing this first like it says in the directions, you're going to go back to step 3 in the directions, and that's when you're going to put this on. So that what we found is the easiest is to get around these flaps. You just pull the whole unit forward, and hopefully you have a buddy that can help you, and then it just kind of slips in from the rear, and now you can put this right where you want it, and you can mark the holes a lot more easily. You'll have a little fluidity with marking these holes. Okay, so this is right where we want to be, so we're going to start marking our holes for the drill. That side, and then again on this side. So now on our side where we know we have drywall only, we got a 5/16 drill bit, and we're going to start drilling this hole. And it is just drywall, went right through. Okay, now if our magical stud finder is correct, this should be a stud right here. So we're going to go with the 1/8 inch drill bit and see what happens here. Oh yeah, it is definitely a stud. And we're gonna drill as far as we can, and then back her out. So now for the hole that's just drywall, make sure you use one of these. You're gonna pound it in with a hammer first, and when the screw goes into it, these will open like alligator teeth and hold it into the wall. Just pop it in there. Well, tap, tap, tap-a-roo. It's in. Okay, now we've got our holes drilled, so we can put our silver piece back in. And just do this very carefully so that those legs down there don't move. And now it's in. So now all we got to do is line up the holes and put the screws in. So make sure you put your washers onto your screws first, and then you can screw them in. So you just raise it up, find the hole, and then it's just simply driving the screw home. And then the other screw just goes directly into the hole on this side. This one's even simpler. It just goes right into the existing hole, but just I wouldn't use a power drill because you could go too far. So it might be a little bit more of a workout, but it's better to just use a regular screwdriver for this. Next up is step 19 in the book. This is the hardware you'll need, these little gear looking deals, and these screws and these guide plates here. Now on this side, we already have our existing closet, so you want to make sure it's flush with that one and all lined up and square. Maybe have a helper hold this part, or if you don't have that, put a clamp on it to make sure that it stays in place so that it stays flush and level with that other one before you put the screws in. So the plates go on in these little tracks. You'll feel the groove, and then you put the screw through the gear looking deal. And just get it snug. It doesn't have to be too tight. Next part's pretty easy. It's just these two little white clips. Put them in here, twist them sideways so that you can get the lid in there. So the top piece will have these angled edges on the back, and then you're going to want to make sure that these little holes on the front are pointing down. And just be very careful when you're installing this. And now you'll see you can take these off, and you'll want to put them right up into the holes that they line up with. Then you can just twist these into place, and jam them up into the hole, and that'll be your brace. It'll be here, 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 and then to cover up your dirty deed back here, you just slide these little covers on, and they go on pretty easy. Click them right into place. So this is probably the easiest part. Is the last step, is put it in the bottom shelf for the floor of the cabinet. The holes just line up on top of your legs, and then you make sure that this nasty particle board side is towards the back. Just like that. And that's the build. Good luck.